Welcome to the Accountancy Learning AAT Sample Paper Debriefs. I'm Sarah, and in this video I'll take you through the Principles of Bookkeeping Controls, Sample Paper 2, Task 8. So this one is all about redrafting a trial balance, and we're given an initial list of balances there for John's business at the 31st of December. And we're also given a journal which is in there ready to process to correct some errors. The task is asking us to complete the adjusted trial balance by inserting the correct figures in either debit or the credit column and then entering the totals for each column. So first of all, I'm going to approach this question by working out which of the initial balances are going to need adjusting. So we've got irrecoverable debts in a journal, so our irrecoverable debts account is going to need adjusting. And we've also got rent. So these two figures are the ones that we need to adjust before we can put them in the trial balance. The rest of them though, we can put straight in. So let's go through and do that. So starting with the sales then, 125,299.26. Sales is a form of income. So we can put that straight on the credit side. And remember, you can draw out, and I would suggest you do draw out your dead click. So you have this available to you as to what side the balances should be. So our sales is income, so it sits on the credit side. Next we've got wages at 92,809.33. So wages is an expense account, so that's on the debit side. So we can put that in here. So then we've got irrecoverable debt and we've got rent. Now we've highlighted these because they're part of our journal, so we'll leave them just for a moment. Cash, 3,246.87. So that's an asset to us, our cash. So that's going to be on the debit side. And then finally drawings, we've got £19,000 in drawings. And that sits on the debit side as well. So now let's come back to our irrecoverable debts and our rent. So these are both expense accounts. So our balance will sit on the debit side. So for our irrecoverable debts, first of all, I'm going to take the initial listing figure here, 1,604.22. I'm going to make a note of that next to the irrecoverable debts here. So that's a debit balance. And then in our journal, we can see that we've got a debit going to that account. So because we've got a debit balance and a debit in the journal, we're going to add that figure on. That gives us a new adjusted figure of 2,031.22. Let's now do the same thing for the rent. So let's take our initial balance of 9,488.32. I'll write that here. And again, it's an expense balance, so it's a debit. But this time we've got a credit going through for a refund. So we're going to take off the refund figure to give us an adjusted figure of 8,211.84. Now we've got all of our balances in there. We've adjusted our two journal ones as well, and now we need to total them up. So on the credit side, that's quite straightforward. We've only got one there. And then we add together all of our debits and that will give us the same figure, so our TB matches. That completes task 8.